There have been pups on screen for decades, but not every dog is a good boy or girl. Some are downright terrifying. Whatever their story, each of these dogs made their mark in the movies that featured them. Deadpool and Wolverine delivered tons of cameos featuring tons of people from past Marvel projects. It also includes the Deadpool Corps with at least 100 Deadpool variants. Nicepool, an uber-Canadian version of Deadpool, has a very unusual pet, Mary Poppins, otherwise known as Dogpool. Dogpool is played by Peggy, a 5-year-old pug and Chinese crested mix who's also Britain's ugliest dog. Deadpool takes an immediate liking to Dogpool, calling her a unicorn, which is probably his highest compliment. Dogpool is a devoted and loving pup, which is evident thanks to her protruded tongue. Though Mary Poppins isn't his dog, Deadpool gets really comfortable with that tongue. Most of their time together on screen is spent with the dog licking him. She doesn't do much in the film other than win Deadpool's heart at their first meeting. Beyond that, she wears a Deadpool-inspired costume equipped with goggles and is thankfully left out of the final battle. Despite her appearance, it's easy to see that Dogpool is a very good dog. The Fox and the Hound tells the story of a red fox named Todd and a hound named Copper. Todd and Copper meet when they're just born and become fast friends. But Copper is destined to be a hunting dog and is told Todd is his enemy. Copper scoffs at this and insists their friendship is real. It's a lovely message that mirrors how young children often find friends even though society tries to drive them apart.
I know Copper would never track me down. Well, Copper, he's my best friend.
Todd and Copper grow up and Copper finishes his hunting dog training. Meanwhile, Todd attempts to see his friend after their long separation, which causes problems. Ultimately, a bear steps in and both Todd and Copper attempt to save Amos, Copper's owner. When Amos points his weapon at Todd, Copper stands his ground, refusing to move aside, proving that he's not only a loyal friend but an honorable hound willing to sacrifice himself for his friend. Air Bud centers around Josh Fram and his dog Buddy. The two meet on a makeshift basketball court behind an abandoned church after Buddy flees an abusive owner. Josh quickly learns that Buddy has an uncanny ability to play basketball, so he takes him home and his mother lets Buddy stay. Eventually, Josh joins his school's basketball team, the Timberwolves. During his first game, Buddy escapes and sinks a basket. The crowd loves Buddy, and the team makes him their mascot, letting him perform during their halftime shows. The Timberwolves make the state finals, but an injury takes out one of the players. Buddy is subbed in because it turns out there's no rule saying a dog can't play basketball.
Somebody cover the dog!
Buddy not only plays for the Timberwolves, but leads the team to victory. Buddy is an amazingly talented movie pup who's hard not to love, and the success of Air Bud spawned a whopping 14-film franchise. As far as Walt Disney Pictures was concerned, that makes him a very good boy. Unlike most movie pups, Zero is 100% dead as a doornail. Of course, that's not surprising, given that he's Jack Skellington's loyal companion in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Zero's body appears to be made up of a flowing white sheet, while his head clearly resembles a dog. Basically, if someone said ghost dog to you, odds are you'd picture Zero. Zero is loyal and caring, and he even takes the place of Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer when Jack commandeers Santa Claus's sled.
My, what a brilliant nose you have. The better to light my way.
In the fog of the night, Zero's orange jack-o'-lantern nose lights up, guiding them to safety. Basically, Zero is a wonderful character who doesn't get enough screen time in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Director Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a fictionalized version of the events surrounding the Manson family murder of Sharon Tate. Brad Pitt plays stuntman Cliff Booth in the film, and he has a lovely pit bull named Brandy. Pitties don't get much positive attention in films, but Brandy demonstrates why they're a misunderstood breed. Members of the Manson family, including Tex Watson, break into movie star Rick Dalton's house looking for trouble. They find it, but first they find Cliff tripping on acid. When Tex goes to shoot Cliff, Brandy bites Tex's arm, then goes for his crotch. Hard, saving the day. Brandy is the very definition of a good girl in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. She puts her life on the line to protect her family, making her one of the biggest heroes in the movie. Gromit is one of the two protagonists in the many Wallace and Gromit animated films. Animator Nick Park first introduced Gromit alongside his pal Wallace in 1989's short A Grand Day Out. Since then, they've appeared in a number of shorts and feature films, and in every one of them, Gromit is the brains of the operation, not his human companion Wallace, who causes all kinds of problems. During Wallace's shenanigans, odds are Gromit will roll his eyes or facepalm before jumping in to save the day. He's the perfect example of the sidekick who actually runs everything due to the hero's incompetence. That's not to say Wallace isn't a great character, but he pales in comparison to his faithful dog. When Gromit's not busy fixing Wallace's problems, he enjoys reading, knitting, and inventing. Of course, Wallace seems to be the only person unaware of Gromit's abilities. That said, whenever Wallace is in trouble, which is often, he calls for Gromit to help him out of whatever sticky situation he's gotten himself into. Gromit has the documents to back up his intellect, as he's a graduate of Hogwarts University with a degree in engineering. Beethoven is a family comedy centered around a St. Bernard who's stolen from a pet store but escapes and finds himself in the home of the Newton family, George, Alice, and their 3 children. The Newtons name the new pup Beethoven after the dog barks along to Beethoven's 5th Symphony. While he starts out small, it doesn't take long for Beethoven to grow into a massive, slobbering mess, which doesn't make George too happy. But he comes around after Beethoven is dog-napped. The family comes to Beethoven's rescue and saves a pack of captive pups along the way. Old Yeller is one of those films that traumatized children for more than 60 years. Despite this, it's also one of the few Disney films scoring 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. The film is set in the late 1860s, just after the Civil War ended, and centers around the Coates family. After Jim, the father, leaves, Katie is left to raise their 2 teenage sons, Travis and Arliss, on her own. Arliss finds a black-mouthed cur, which he adopts and names Old Yeller, reflecting the dog's yellow coat and his bark. Arliss utterly loves Old Yeller, though he's a lot to handle because he steals meat from the smokehouse and eggs from the chicken coop.
He's my dog. Ain't nobody gonna try to hurt him.
He proves his worth by scaring away an angry mama bear, winning over the family. Later, Old Yeller saves the family by fighting off a rabid wolf. It's a bittersweet moment. While Old Yeller demonstrates his love for his family, they realize that he likely contracted rabies. In the end, Travis reluctantly shoots Old Yeller, knowing there's nothing else they can do to save him. All Dogs Go to Heaven is set in 1939 New Orleans and centers around a dog named Charlie B. Barkin, who runs a casino alongside his pup partner, Carface Carruthers. That is, until Carface takes the business for himself and kills Charlie.
Oh, not to worry, Charlie, you'll go to heaven. All dogs go to heaven because, unlike people, dogs are naturally good and loyal and kind.
But Charlie doesn't want to be dead. He wants revenge on Carface, so he escapes back to Earth. An angel warns him that he won't return to heaven and will go to hell once he dies a second time. Charlie meets a young orphan girl, Anne-Marie, who can talk to animals and uses her for his own nefarious purposes. Eventually, Carface takes her and Charlie learns an important lesson about doing the right thing. He rescues Anne-Marie, sacrificing himself in the process. He returns as a ghost to reconcile with Anne-Marie and, plot twist, is welcomed back into heaven. The Japanese film Hachikō Monogatari is a dramatic telling of the story of a real-world dog, an Akita named Hachikō, or Hachi for short. He's adopted by Hidesaburo Ueno, an agricultural professor who forms a bond with Hachi as he grows into adulthood. Whenever Ueno comes home from work, Hachi is there to greet him at the end of the day. Hachi becomes a mainstay at Shibuya Station, where he's often noticed for his prompt, tenacious arrival. Sadly, Ueno dies suddenly while at work, leaving Hachi to wonder where he is. During Ueno's funeral, Hachi runs after the procession, unwilling to see Ueno disappear for good. Hachi returns to Shibuya Station every day, where he dutifully awaits Ueno's return. The film ends nearly a decade after Ueno's death and closes on Hachi's own demise, but after the dog's death, he reunites with Ueno in the afterlife. Up opens with one of the most heartbreaking montages in cinematic history, but slowly pulls away from the misery to show Carl Fredricksen that life is worth living even without his beloved Ellie. This is accomplished via a little boy named Russell and a dog named Doug.
The wilderness must be explored! Go, go! Roar!
Doug is a golden retriever who speaks through a special collar translator built by explorer Charles Muntz. Unfortunately, Muntz isn't the hero Carl thinks he is. He sends his pack of dogs after Carl, Russell, and Doug in pursuit of Kevin, a rare bird Muntz has chased for decades. Doug, for his part, isn't the smartest of talking dogs, nor is he the best at paying attention.
My name is Doug. I have just met you, and I love you.
Still, Doug is loyal and has a kind heart, and he helps Russell and Carl save Kevin from Muntz, becoming a hero along the way. Doug is a great dog, and any dog lover would love to have him as their beloved pet, talking collar or not. While Lassie has appeared in numerous television series and movies over the years, her first foray into feature films made a significant impact on popular culture. In Lassie Come Home, which is set in Depression-era England, the dog is sold by her family to a wealthy duke.
You quite sure that you want to sell it?
No, Your Grace. I'll have to.
Lassie repeatedly escapes her new owner and is taken to Scotland, where she manages to escape once more and trek across England to her original home in Yorkshire, where she's finally reunited with the family who reluctantly gave her up at the beginning of the film. It's impossible not to love Lassie, as she's an incredibly intelligent and capable dog who will do anything and everything to protect the people in her family. Toto is the faithful little Cairn Terrier who accompanies Dorothy Gale on her adventure to Oz. Toto is clearly intelligent and cares deeply for Dorothy and her companions. Oddly enough, Terry, the female Cairn Terrier who appeared in the 1939 film, was paid more than many of the actors in the movie. Terry performed with gusto, and because of the popularity of the film, her handlers eventually changed her name to Toto, which was probably a bit confusing for the tiny terrier. Because The Wizard of Oz is one of the most watched movies ever made, Toto made an impact that continued long after the animal actor's death in 1945.
Say goodbye, Toto.
Toto is arguably one of the most well-known cinematic dogs ever, and the character has appeared in all manner of movies and TV shows over the years. While Toto isn't always played by a Cairn Terrier, the spirit of Toto and his importance to Dorothy and popular culture as a whole makes Toto the top dog of the pack.